She said she used to live there, only just a little higher than Southeast. But she hasn't come home in a long time, so she doesn't remember much about it anymore. Melody says it's weird I talked to her, but I think she's just shy. They could be good friends too! Don't you think so, Miss Pink?
Don't you think so?
Maybe if you introduce them properly, they will be.
That's what I think. Takako's just lonely. If she makes more friends, she won't be anymore. Is your friend like that too?
A little, possibly. To be honest, sometimes I can't tell with her.
After all, Isabella has always been the kind to hold a smile even when things have taken a turn for the worst. 5 years and one would think it's enough time to know a person. But when you consider it, come to think of it, all these years I've never, not even once, seen her cry. Not over a trivial matter or even when things are tough.
Okay, you can go to her. I'll just show you my drawing next time.
Aww.
Thank you. Remind me to buy you a huge glass of parfait, alright?
I wanted to see the drawing though.
No, I'll get a stomachache. Takako says so. A small one is okay.
I'll remember that. Say hi to your friend for me.
I will. I'm sure she'd love to meet you too. See you, Miss Pink.
I'll see you later, Kylie.
Miss Pink, because she's wearing pink stuff.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down.
Not that song again. She doesn't look back or wait for any good sort of goodbye from me. The song and an extra spring in her steps, she bounds across the corridor with as much spirit only a child her age can have. As if the conversation has never taken any downhill turn for her at all. As if there is not a single thing to worry about in the world. Not long after, she disappears behind a door, leaving behind strains of an old familiar rhyme lingering in the air. Carefree, unbeaten, untroubled moments like this, I envy her. As I resume my hurried pace, a tiny whisper at the back of my mind wishes the same can be said of myself and my own worries. Luxburn may be a small city, but it's no stranger to hellish rush hour traffic. But surprisingly, getting out of the city today proves more of a breeze than a hassle. A relief considering how none of my calls to Isabella have made it through. Either the reception is really bad over there or she's ignoring them on purpose. Both does nothing to ease the disquiet in me. The rest of my drive passes without much incident as soon as I'm out the busy streets. In less than 30 minutes, the mansion looms ahead of me. For all the fuss Isabella made about the house, it remains a thing of beauty. Unlike Luxburn, the estate and the nearby Insula village stands at its complete opposite, living and breathing the songs of old, whispers of a once booming heaven lingering in the air. Contemporary conveniences aside, it's a place I'm glad modernization has not wholly touched.
It's just a shame the locals know more of the silly hearsay than the history itself. If I could only knock some sense into these people.
Sadly, complaining is all I can afford to do. As much as I want to give them a piece of my mind, it's not why I'm here. This house is so creepy though. I don't think these rich types will appreciate getting a lecture from me either. I have as much business with them as they have with me. The heavy side, I give myself one last second to take in the scenery before heading up the main entrance. Most of the guests are already heading out, though some still linger. It's mainly just to take photos of the house facade or its various rooms. I pause for a moment, scanning the small crowd gathered at the foyer, looking for any sign of that familiar ponytail among the sea of hats and heads.
No sign of her.
No sign of the other staff or Miss Cooper either. I can certainly look for Isabel on my own, but in a place this big? I'd be lucky if I did not end up lost or find her before we need to meet with Zachary and Ash tonight. I reach for my mobile and radial number. The gesture familiar now after so many attempts earlier. If she does not answer, I can still try contacting Miss Cooper. I just hope the network reception will cooperate this time. This side of the country has never been popular with the tech savvy after all. To my relief, it only took 3 unsuccessful tries. At the 4th one, right as it's about to switch to another intercept message, the line finally rings. Silence follows while I wait for her to pick up, the ringing going far too long for my taste. By now, most of the visitors have already cleared out. All I have for company are the faint murmurs and eerie calmness left in their wake. A sudden hush settles and gives way to noises louder than they are ever meant to be. Doors cracking and slamming shut in some distant part of the mansion, floorboards groaning under the sheer weight of the house history. In the now empty hall, they all reverberate with special clarity against the walls. Like this, those old stories seems to almost have a ring of truth to it. I don't get straight far into that ugly line of thought, however. Not a second later, a click sounds from the other end.
Hello? Isabella? Miss Cooper called earlier and...
No.
Isabella? Belle? Are you alright?
Oh, she's crying. God damn it. Without any warning, the call gets cut off. Busy notes blare sharply against the heavy silence. God damn it. But above the noise cutting through the mute air remains the faint cries of a woman. From beyond the foyer, my hand falls to my side as I cast a wary look around, waiting for someone to come running. Jesus. Not already. Surely I can't be the only one here hearing this. There must still be some staff hanging around, checking things out. But no one does. Not even when her sobs turn more frantic and anguished.
Excuse me? Hello? Who's there? Isabella? Isabella? Is that you?
That's not Isabella. No answer. Growing anxious, I amble over where her cries come from, each step slow and cautious towards the door on the other end of the room. While I am far from someone who readily gives into fear or stories lacking a factual basis, the vague, restless feeling I had earlier immediately returns to me. And despite myself, my heart begins to race and my breathing quickens.
Belle? Belle, it's me. Miss Cooper called. Is everything okay?
Ah, shit. Abruptly, all of it stops. My whole body tenses, mouth dragging in a ragged breath, ears straining for any other sound yet to come from the other side. But nothing follows. Instead, the quiet only lends itself to the heavy tension in the air, as if every small movement would disturb the fragile stillness hanging in the room. I wait for another second. Then, with a caution, I reach for the knob. My fingers barely graze the brass handle when a hand falls on my shoulder.
Excuse me, ma'am?
Oh, thank God it's someone.
I am so sorry. I didn't mean to startle you.
No, it's a...
Thank God it's just Rose. Still reading, my gaze shifts back to the door as if any second now the cries will start again or whoever's inside will burst out of the room. But I don't get to dwell on these. The woman's worried voice breaks through the haze of my mind again, oddly soothing in the thick of my unease. Even in the concern, looks comes from a total stranger. Finally being in the company of someone else is somehow comforting.
Ma'am? Are you okay?
Yes, we are okay now. Whew.
Oh, no, I'm fine. This is probably just some cold.
Do you need to sit down?
Sure. That's not the goal.
No need. I'm actually looking for a friend.
I wave the mobile in front of her like the gesture along explains everything. Vaguely, I note my tight grip on it and I quickly slip it into my pocket before she notices. She doesn't need to know.
Well, I'm not really sure if your friend would still be here. We're actually about to close the open house in a few minutes, ma'am.
No worries. She's not a guest here. She works for Briar Realty. Miss Cooper called me earlier. In fact, I'm also looking for her.
Yeah, you're facing Miss Cooper. Recognition flashes in her eyes and her worried expression dissolves into a smile at once. It's all I need to know that I don't have to look elsewhere or venture deeper into the mansion on my own. In some way, I'm not too keen on the latter right now.
Oh, Miss Rebecca Gales, is it?
Yes. Sorry if I'm a bit late.
It's not a problem. I was busy with the open house and a few clients anyway. It's actually a good thing you came when you did.
Why?
Let's see. Isabella should be here somewhere. I told her to stay put earlier. Girl never listens.
Rose? Rosie? May I have a minute? There's just this one little thing before we go.
Miss Cooper's head immediately snaps up at the voice. Is that Anna? In a blink, a different kind of smile spreads on her face. The smile is still friendly even, but the kind given mainly for the sake of pleasing other people rather than making friends.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be there in a few.
It's an impressive thing, to say the least, that level of professionalism. I suppose working years in this kind of business trains you enough to be able to pull that off without batting an eye. It certainly did not seem to have rubbed off on Isabella, though.
Sorry, could you give me a second? I have to take care of this.
Don't worry about it. I understand. I can wait a few more minutes. Clients, right?
Right.
You won't hear anything from me. Priorities, you know? But if you want, you can stay at the parlor in the meantime. I think we have a few refreshments left.
No, thank you. I'm going out with a few friends after this.
You should have said yes.
Isabella's supposed to join us too. But that depends on how she's doing, of course.
All right, this won't be long, I promise.
She throws me an apologetic look before sauntering over the small group gathered at the entrance. Luke, Anna, Rose, and Marianne. Okay, a couple of siblings. And another woman, probably the secretary. Either way, they look no different from the other guests. All three of them primly dressed, albeit in a manner significantly simpler than the others, no frills, no extravagance of any form. But their gestures and movement alone speak volumes of their ingrained lifestyle. In their presence, I do what I can to appear inconspicuous on my side of the foyer. Maybe accepting Miss Cooper's offer would have been a much better choice than standing around awkwardly and gaping at them. I told you! You should have took the tricks! All while also attempting my best not to listen in their conversation. Although that one proves more difficult with how enthusiastic the blonde woman is. Her voice easily echoes through the walls with only the five of us here. Pretty soon I find myself being drawn into the talk without meaning to.
Tomorrow? First thing in the morning?
First thing in the morning, ma'am.
The mundane talk is not what catches my attention, however.
Very well. We'll have our lawyers prepare everything as soon as possible. Let's make this whole thing easier for everyone, shall we? Just let me know if there's anything you need from me. You know how to contact me, yes?
Got your mobile number saved here already.
Good. It's just a matter of time then.
Good. It's a brief moment. A fleeting shift on my eye.
Monday for us, Marianne.
Wait. Do you guys see that? around Luke. He has some sort of aura.